I've said for a number of years now that one of the untold stories in Alberta is just how innovative the Alberta economy is. And that's a lot in energy, but also in other sectors as well. Part of that is because of the innovation ecosystem that exists there. And one component of that is the regional innovation networks. Now, the Alberta Innovates, the provincial innovation agency, is putting another $3.5 million into the regional innovation network. And I'm going to talk to Carla Otto about that. And so welcome to the interview, Carla.
Hi, thank you for having me, Markham.
Maybe we could start with an overview of exactly what the regional innovation network is.
Thanks. Yeah, the regional innovation networks are 8 around the province of Alberta. So they are located in the communities and they provide services for all the surrounding rural areas. Together, we consider the regional innovation networks the Alberta Innovation Network. So you tie all of those 8 networks together into one large Alberta network, and you have connectivity around the province through the Alberta Innovation Network.
And what kind of activities are undertaken in these networks?
So each network in each community is composed of the Chamber of Commerce, the economic development agencies, the colleges that are in that region, as well as any other technology-based organization that is there with part of their mandate focusing on helping technology-based businesses. So they come together in a collaborative governance structure to discuss what are the gaps in our region, what does our region need to advance those clients, and they provide programming, connectivity, and lead them into other capital access opportunities.
Yeah, I would imagine I spent a number of years in a medium-sized city in Saskatchewan and involved in economic development, and access to those resources, to expertise, to training, to capital, all of those things are tougher to tap into than they are in, say, a Calgary or an Edmonton. And so I would imagine that your regional innovation networks are well accessed by entrepreneurs outside of the big cities.
Yeah, so of the 8, 2 of them are Edmonton and Calgary. So they're part of that Alberta Innovation Network, and they have a lot more supports available to them within those regions, but they're tied in through the Alberta Innovation Network to these other rural areas. And so our goal is to help any company around the province accelerate their business if they're in that technology and entrepreneur space for high growth potential, high growth company.
Now, given the importance of technology, particularly in the energy space, and the emphasis that governments are putting on innovation to help lower emissions and create jobs, have we seen over the last, let's pick a time period, last 5 years, have we seen a growth in innovation and the need to support that innovation?
Oh, absolutely. So we've seen it even just in the last year. We've seen an increase in our intake in Alberta Innovates for companies. So we see about 1,000 new clients accessing our systems in the year just through Alberta Innovates. In the regional innovation networks, they see about 2,000 new clients a year coming in. If you look at the recent Alberta Enterprise Corp deal flow study, we've seen an increase over the last 10 years from 1,000 companies to 3,000 companies. So a lot of the metrics that we're measuring are showing that innovation is increasing in our province.
Now, I've seen from other announcements that the Alberta government is focused on taking companies that are maybe startups and making them, helping them to thrive in those critical 5 years, but then helping them to scale up so they become medium companies, and medium-sized companies become larger companies. Is that part of the Regional Innovation Network's mandate?
Yeah, so when RIN started about 10 years ago, we were focusing on bringing people around the table to figure out what those gaps are and to communicate more in each of the communities. And then we seeded that with some initial RIN funding. Over the last 10 years, then we've seen these RINs grow, and our new push with the Alberta government and the extra funding here is to now focus some of those dollars at that early stage startup where we're seeing a lot of new startups coming up and making sure that we have dollars contributing to their growth and acceleration. So that's Startup Edmonton, Startup YMM up in the Wood Buffalo region, Startup Lloydminster, looking at focusing some resources there. So that's part of our new money. And then realizing that we have these companies flowing through the funnel. So we talk about the client journey all the way through from ideation to scaling. And we want to get as many companies to be scalable as possible. So then our new money this year is saying we have companies now that are at that, they've validated, they're at that edge of validation and scaling, and we want to ensure they are successful. So extra dollars are being focused through the RIN program to make sure that we have some peer-to-peer mentorship to help guide them through those differences, that there is some support for investment readiness. They may be needing to raise capital at that point in time. Alberta Innovates also just ran an RFP to increase pre-accelerators and accelerators in the province. So that's just adding to that base of the RIN networks across the province. How can we scale up from there?
Any final thoughts, Carla?
No, I appreciate the talk, and I think Alberta has done a lot in this area in the last 10 years and are looking forward to the changes that are coming in the next 10 years.
Great. Thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you.